Hey my friends, welcome back to a new video. Today we'll be talking about what all empaths must know. So if this is happening to you, what we will be talking today about, pay attention to this, and it will help you to not just to raise your vibration but also to protect your energy, and you will learn how to invest your energy more wisely, so you will stop feeling so drained so often, and you will become more magnetic and more focused and more self-aware. So firstly, I want to remind you that you are about to overcome something you've been dealing with. And this is your confirmation. If you're watching this video, this is your confirmation that your greatest breakthrough is coming and you are truly meant to experience wonders that life has to offer for you. So just prepare yourself, my friends. So firstly, if you consider yourself as being an empath, it means that you may sense the energy around you, you may sense the energy in a room. You enter into a room and you can sense what kind of energy is present. When you're hanging with people, you can sense what kind of emotions they are experiencing, even maybe what kind of thoughts they are thinking. And you may sense, when somebody is not telling you the truth, and so on. You are really sensitive, and there's many reasons for that. Maybe something when you were a little kid, you needed to be really aware of what's happening. Maybe you were bullied, maybe your parents were not treating you truly out of love, but they were dealing with certain pain and they were projecting pain to you, and therefore you needed to be prepared and you needed to be alert and aware, and that's why you've developed this more intense senses to sense each detail when you should be emotionally prepared if something goes wrong. And another reason could be that you're just more sensitive soul, that you are a truly bright soul which can sense any detail. When something is out of coherence, out of balance, you can sense it, so you could heal it. But if we don't know how to invest our energy, how to protect our energy, how to increase our energy, and how to recharge our energy, we may feel drained really often. So at the first place, we need to know ourselves. And I like to say you need to know your spirit. You need to know what is recharging you and what is draining you to create that great balance, because it's nothing wrong with giving yourself to others. But if you're giving too much of yourself to others, you may find yourself completely empty. And when you are empty, you have nothing to give. Even when you want to help others, you have nothing with what you could help others. And if you may find yourself often in that position, you may start pulling yourself down and you may start self-sabotaging yourself because you think there's something wrong with you. But remember, there's nothing wrong with you. You just need to learn to manage your energy better. It's same as you would learn to invest money. If you don't have knowledge how to invest money, you can just buy the first thing you will see as an opportunity to invest, and maybe you will gain more money, but most probably you will just lose it. Same is with energy. Once we learn to invest it wisely, we will always find a greater balance in our lives, a greater coherence in our lives. I've learned to do that in my past, and now everything seems to me that it's, life became much more blissful because I'm not drained out so often anymore. Actually, it's hard for me to find myself completely energetically drained out because I recharge myself way before it happens. So firstly, you need to learn to manage your focus, because wherever you place your attention, you place your energy. And for many empaths, they may overthink everything, right? If you find yourself overthinking everything, it means that you must to train your focus, to firstly become more present, but also to learn how to think, so you will not be overthinking all the time. So I call overthinking a great power because it is giving us an ability that we can think about so many different things at the same time. That's how we can find so many different solutions at the same time. But if we are not aware that we are always overthinking, then we will always live life on so many different places, but physically we are only right here, right now. And because our mind is wandering on too many places, that's what may drain out our energy. This is one thing. So to train your focus, meditation may help you, not just any kind of meditation. You can meditate the way that you just observe. Let's say you turn on a candle in front of you, and for 5 to 10 minutes you just observe the fire, and your mind will start wandering. You will start thinking different thoughts, and different thoughts will be popping up. And all you do, just call back your attention to the fire. And what that will do, you will start developing a muscle of focus. Even if literally it's not a muscle, we still train our brain to focus only on what we choose to focus on when we decide to focus on that thing. Which means that we start training ourselves like we train a muscle to get stronger. We train our attention so we can expand or extend the attention span we choose to hold on one thing. And that's truly powerful because firstly it will help you to recharge yourself, because a beauty happens when we focus just on one thing and we keep focusing on that. We suddenly find ourselves in a greater state of awareness because we are not losing so much of our energy with all those different things. Now we are completely aware and focused just on that one thing. For many empaths, which are overthinking everything, this practice may help you to, firstly, to train your mind, to train your focus, but also to call your energy back to you. Because it's like you're cutting the streams of energy, or the streams which are draining your energy, you're getting back into this moment, and now you're training your focus to focus just on one thing. This is truly powerful. So pay attention to that. The second thing, those are boundaries. You know, you've heard about boundaries before, and I will give you some examples today because boundaries are so important when it comes to us, when it comes to how we are treating others, at the first place, how we are treating ourselves, and how much benefit it has once we start setting greater and healthier boundaries in our lives. We'll have more energy for ourselves, we'll have more energy for others, and that's where a greater love will awaken within you, because you will recognize that maybe what you considered before toxic people are not actually toxic people. Those are people which are dealing with certain internal pain, and because you were spending maybe too much time with them, you've started approaching them as toxic people. But imagine that if you still need to somehow hang with those people, let's say those are your co-workers or friends of your friends or whatever it is, if you can limit your time spending with them, you will see a great progress in the perception of how you're observing them. And the reward will be that your energy will completely change. And now your energy will start influencing them and not their energy influencing you. So that's how you become a bright light in the society. When you learn to manage your focus, your attention, your energy. So how to set healthy boundaries in your life? Firstly, you need to understand that it is not your job to fix others, even though you want to help others, even though you feel like you need to help others. It's coming from your heart, it's your intuitive need, because all of us here are healers. We are all here to help one another. We are social beings, and when we see somebody hurt or hurting, we feel deep inside our hearts that we want to help them. But as I said before, if you find your heart empty, there's nothing you can give. So you firstly need to remind yourself that it is not your job to fix others. Why it is important for empaths? Because empaths, every time they see somebody hurting, they will hurt for them as well. But it's not your job to hurt for them. They are hurting because of what they've done in their lives, or something happened to them. And if you can help them, if you feel right now an energy to help them, if you're emotionally stable enough, if you're ready to help, that's perfectly fine. That's actually wonderful, beautiful. But if you find yourself that right now you're just drained out, right now you just need to help yourself first, don't pull up so much weight onto yourself just because so many people around you are hurting. It's truly not your job to fix everything. So put it inside of your heart as well. It's beautiful when you want to help others and when you feel a need to help others, but it's not your job to fix others, because you truly can't do that. You can provide, your wisdom, your knowledge, your experiences. But then it's up to others to grab what you're giving and to truly get the lessons and apply them. So you can't fix anyone. You can only give, you can only provide, but then it's on other people what they will do with that. So don't give too much of yourself to people which are not willing to accept all of your beautiful gifts. Remember that. The second thing when it comes to boundaries is also understanding that it's okay if others get angry. Anger is that truly low emotion, really hard emotion to handle, especially for empaths. And understanding that it's okay if others get angry will help you to accept that some people just don't have that that level of emotional intelligence yet to control or to become aware of the uncontrollable anger. And that's why they're experiencing it. That's why it is controlling their behaviors. So it's completely okay if others get angry. You can't control that. Don't try to fix it. Become an example of compassion. But when you feel like your energy is slowly draining out, just, separate yourself from that happening and find yourself at places where you can, recharge yourself once again, like spending more time in nature. Nature is always recharging you. Nature is that infinite giver. Nature is always giving. So go into nature, be alone there, be quiet, and just enjoy in the fruits of it. And that's what will recharge yourself. And by doing, for example, that practice as I mentioned with the candle, you can observe movement of the trees, movement of the water, movement of the birds, butterflies, everything that is happening around you, and that will recharge your energy. So if you say like, I went outside and nothing changed, make a practice out of it. Decide that every single day you will go outside at least for half an hour or for 1 hour. After 1 month, you will see your energy will completely change. Then again, when we get to boundaries, it's okay to say no. A hard thing for many empaths is to say no, because we just don't want to hurt another person, right? But it's okay to say no, because at the first place, you need to take care of yourself. And if something doesn't feel right, you're actually crossing your boundary. Because if you want to feel well, if you want to stay in that inner harmony, This is your responsibility. If something is pulling you out of your harmonious state or out of what on that intuitive level feels right to do, you just say no, because at the first place, it's your responsibility to take care of what feels right, and to follow what feels right. So learning to say no is again a practice we develop over time. So don't think if one day it was really hard to say no that you're doing everything wrong. You're a work in progress, and you know that. You're a work in progress. Every time you will remind yourself, well, if it doesn't feel right, I will say no. If I don't have enough energy to deal with that, I will learn to say no. Practice that. So it's also not your job to take responsibility for others. How often you take responsibility for others? It's beautiful, again, it's coming from your empathy, it's coming from your compassion, it's coming from your heart. Our hearts always want to help others, always want to take responsibility for others, so we could give as much as we could, because we understand that we are all soul family and we want to see each other thrive, we want to see each other be happy, be in love with life, and so on. And that's why we want to take responsibility for others. But at the same time, you can't do that all the time, right? It's not your job to take responsibility. It's truly okay if you want to do that, but it's not your job. So remind yourself that it's okay if you don't want to take responsibility for others. It's completely fine. So remind yourself often that it's completely okay if you don't take responsibility for others. If you see that somebody needs to learn a lesson, it's not your job to teach them the lesson. It's their job to see it. And if you're an example of greatness, they will come to you and they will ask you. But if they are not asking you, maybe they just don't need your help. So think about it. Then you also don't need to have, or let's say that way, it's not your job to make other people happy. Even though you want that from your heart, again, you want to see other people happy. But because of that, we often start pleasing others. Right? We start pleasing others because we want to receive certain confirmation, we want to, I don't know, receive something in return. And often, just from our hearts, we want to see other people happy. But when we find ourselves that we are just not in the state of giving, when people around you are not happy, it's not your job to change that. Well, if you're not happy, you can't actually provide happiness to others. So you've probably noticed that when you're happy, you're naturally giving that happiness to others. You're naturally projecting that energy of happiness to others. Let's say you just had a truly wonderful day. You get to an environment where everybody is sad, but you're just a light. You're just lifting others up, and suddenly all of the people there feel lighter. But when you're not happy, it's not your job to make other people happy because you have nothing to give. So firstly, you need to make sure that you're happy. Do the things which brings happiness into your life. When you think you need to make other people happy, it's because you're not happy. When you're happy, you will see happiness, and you will not feel a need to make other people happy. You will just feel a need to express your joy. You will feel a need to express your happiness. And that's truly, truly amazing awareness, where when you get to that point, that you recognize that if you don't feel happy, it's not your job to make other people happy. Take care that you do things which brings happiness to you, so your light can become stronger and the share of happiness will become something which is automatic and spontaneous. When it comes to boundaries, it is not your job to make anyone happy. Of course, you want to do that, but firstly take care of your happiness so you have something to share with others. And the most important boundary is that you are enough. So when anytime somebody is trying to prove you that you're not, that person is already crossing your boundary. And you need to understand that you just don't need to take other opinions as the truth. You may question them, but you need to have your own opinion about yourself, which is coming from love. You need to have your own understanding about yourself, which is coming from love and compassion, so you can always sense that you are enough. And when something or somebody or whatever is trying to show you or prove you or tell you that you are not enough, that person, that thing, that whatever is already crossing your boundaries, so respect your boundaries. At the first place, you are enough. You don't need to prove yourself to anyone. You don't need to change yourself for anyone. You don't need to actually do anything for anyone, because you're already enough. You're already perfectly well the way you are. Anything that you want to add or change is your choice, your free choice. It's okay with that. But in the first place, you're already enough. For empaths, you need to understand that, because so often many empaths do things because other people say them that they need to do that they need to change for themselves, that they need to adapt for themselves, or whatever it is. You have the wisdom inside of you to create the future you want to see. And if that future is yourself having stronger energy, having greater or stronger boundaries, so you can be a greater help also for others, not in a forceful way, but in a natural way. You need to understand that you are enough, and you need to be aware of that, and you need to know that inside your heart. So start living more within and less without. Start living your life more internally, you know, acknowledging what you feel, how you sense your environment, what is happening in your life, and how you're approaching it, how you're responding to it. And become aware if how you're responding and reacting is coming from that authentic state of who you are, or it's coming from pleasing others, or proving yourself to others, or adapting to others. We are adaptable beings, of course, and we need to be adaptable, and it's okay with that. But if we are constantly adapting ourselves to our environment, then our environment will be shaping us, so we may lose ourselves in that happening. It's hard for you to be a difference. It's hard for you to be your own unique light if you let your environment constantly controlling you. There is a perfect balance and synergy when we let ourselves to be authentic, but we still adapt to the environment, so we are not too extremely authentic, because in that case we may be pushed out again and we may not be in a position to help others. So finding a perfect balance between being adaptable but still being completely unique, honest and authentic is a beautiful way to live life. So it requires a great amount of awareness and attention, but we are all work in progress, and you're making a great progress on that path. So a great awareness over how you're sensing yourself, how you're sensing others, how certain situations make you feel like, and could you change anything about it? Because, you know, paying too much attention to the things you can't control will again just drain your energy. And what you must know is that what you can't control is not worth of your attention. Truly, what you can't control is not worth of your energy. So focus on what you can control and work on that. See if there's a space for improvement. See if there's a space where you could become better, more, compassionate, more self-aware, more self-loving, and work on that. And remember that self-love is not just saying some kind words to yourself or some beautiful affirmations. Self-love is observation of your unconscious behaviors and catching yourself before you do something which is unhealthy for you or for the version of yourself you want to become. You catch yourself before you do something which is unhealthy for you, and you change it for something healthier. Let's say it comes to the words you're speaking, the actions you're taking, habits you're repeating on daily basis. You catch yourself before you do something which is unhealthy for you and change it for something healthier. You use greater words, more positive words maybe. You use greater actions, healthier actions. You start maybe treating yourself healthier, eating healthier food, drinking more water. Take care of your habits, make sure that you're staying active, make sure that you're meditating, taking time for your spirit, make sure that you're spending enough time in nature so you can recharge your batteries. That's what will help you to align your energy, and that's to me the greatest self-love. Also, a quick visualization technique when it comes to empaths is that you just visualize like your body is generating a bubble of light. If you find yourself at places where you know that it will be energetically exhausting, practice visualization of a bubble of light and find a color of that light which is resonating the most with you. It can be golden light, a bright blue light, a bright purple or pink, or whatever works for you. Visualize that bubble of light around your body and practice that. So every time you find yourself at certain places where it is energetically a bit lower vibration, imagine that there's a bubble of light around your body which is protecting your energy. It will help you to not just being aware that your energy is protected, but also that your bubble of light is affecting the environment around you. So you create that great shift from the state where your environment is affecting you to the point where you, with your love, with your pure energy, start affecting our environment around you. And on an unconscious level, people will just eventually maybe start taking some healthier decisions, and they will start taking more care for themselves. And to me, that's a huge improvement. Those are invisible changes because you don't see the progress immediately, but maybe in 10 years, because of what you did back then, those people started waking up to a greater degree of love. And maybe you will never know that, but still deep inside you can have that trust that it's happening. So it is a beautiful internal approach to how you actually can affect your environment as an empath, and that's a great power. So my friends, this is it for today. I hope this video can help you. Express some love in the comment section. Let's raise some love today. And I'm sending you all lots of love, blessings and power. Have a beautiful day. I hope you've enjoyed in today's painting. Till next time, one love.